US President Donald Trump on Monday discussed tariffs and the future of America's economic security with reporters at the White House. He was speaking in the context of the US Supreme Court considering the legitimacy of his tariff policy, arguments for which have been made, and the decision pending. Trump painted a picture of a nation once vulnerable, now fortified by his administration's aggressive trade policies. Tariffs, he argued, weren't just taxes, they were shields, tools of leverage, and sources of national strength.
This country would be in such trouble, as they were for many years. That's why we owe $38 trillion. And one of the things we're going to do, we're going to issue a dividend to our middle-income people and lower-income people of about $2,000. And we're going to use the remaining tariffs to lower our debt. We're going to be lowering our debt, which is a national security thing. So we're doing a lot of good work.
The announcement caught everyone off guard. Trump was suggesting this wasn't just policy but a promise, a direct payout to the people, funded by the very tariffs that had reshaped global trade. But Trump wasn't finished. He said the tariffs would go towards lowering the national debt, a national security issue, further highlighting the strength of his court case.
The numbers were reported so incorrectly. The real numbers are trillions of dollars have been taken in or gotten in terms of investment from the tariffs. And so if that were ever reversed, it would be a disaster. Frankly, it would be a national security problem for our country. And nobody thinks it's going to be reversed. I think we had a very good court case.
Trump criticized the media for misreporting the numbers, claiming that trillions, not billions, had flowed into the U.S. through tariffs and foreign investment. The stakes, he said, were enormous. He dismissed critics who downplayed the impact.
If you look at the past administration, Biden, he did less than $1 trillion in 4 years. We're over $18 trillion. By the time my first year ends, we're going to have over $20 trillion of investment coming into the United States. It's unheard of. We have AI factories. We're leading China by a lot. We have cars and car plants coming in by more than we've ever had built before. All of that would go away if we lose the tariff case.
All of it, according to Trump, hangs in the balance. A message of urgency, ambition, and a vision of America built on tariffs, factories, and a fight for financial sovereignty. The question is, do his arguments make economic sense? Some would say they do add up. The Economic Brief, DD India.
So let's turn to Prasenjit Basu once again to find out whether his economics does add up. What do you think? I mean, do the numbers add up?
On one thing, it is clear the tariffs are bringing in substantial new revenues. There's no doubt that as a result of that, the U.S. deficit, annual deficit, is going to be a lot lower in the last fiscal year and the current fiscal year. The fiscal year in the U.S. runs from October to September. We don't have the final numbers yet, but the monthly numbers already show a substantial reduction in the deficit. So that is true. It is having an impact because tariffs have two functions. One, of course, they bring in revenue to the government. The second is they provide a form of protection to domestic industry. The protection aspect hasn't really significantly boosted U.S. industry much. We see in some areas like steel, automobiles, we're beginning to see some benefits to the U.S. And the other thing that he's talking about is that he is forcing many countries to promise massive amounts of investment. And in fact, some of that is coming through. So for instance, TSMC from Taiwan is building a lot of significant plants in the U.S. Samsung Electronics from Korea is doing the same. Several of the major automobile companies from Japan, Toyota, Nissan, Honda, are expanding their presence in the U.S. in terms of production. So there are some benefits coming through, there's no doubt about that. But the argument in the Supreme Court is not about economics, it's about the legality. The lower courts have ruled against it. In the Supreme Court, Trump has a very strong majority in his favor on most cases, 6-3. It is possible that one or two of the judges will defect, but that should still leave him enough to win the case. It's a dicey case.
Right,
Whether there's an emergency or not is very questionable. But most likely he'll win the case.
And what about paying a dividend? Is it even possible in the United States to pay to
absolutely.
every citizen?
He's not going to pay to every citizen. Apparently, he's only going to pay to some to the middle class and
Yes,
low income
right.
earners. It is possible, of course. Both Trump and Biden did that. Trump did it in December 2020, and then in March 2021, Biden came in with a big so-called stimulus check.
Right.
So you can call it a dividend, you can call it a stimulus check, but whatever it is possible to do. But anything he does of that sort will reduce the deficit reduction that is happening. So instead of reducing the deficit, they're going to pay out some of it in the form of dividends or a stimulus check, which is not really needed at this point, given that the economy is in reasonably good shape in the U.S.
Okay.
And inflation is actually a little bit, it's picking up. It's 3%.
Right.
The latest CPI number in the U.S. is at 3%. It's not particularly low. So we don't really need, the U.S. doesn't need a stimulus.
Fair enough. We leave it there. Thank you very much, Mr. Prasenjit Basu. Thank you for joining us and unpacking those stories for us.